name is Mark, and I started this channel to start book and movie reviews. This video right now is going to be a book review for The Fault in Our Stars. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. John Green, the man that will destroy your life. This book was amazing. If you haven't read the book, what are you doing here? Where do you live, in fact? Like, who hasn't read this book? If you haven't read this book, it's about a girl that has cancer in the lungs. Her name is Hazel, and she gets forced to go to a support group by her mother and doctors who think that she's depressed. That's when she meets Augustus Waters, that becomes her boyfriend. All she does is think about death, watch America's Next Top Model, and yeah, she falls in love with him, he falls in love with her, but she's scared to fall in love with him because she thinks that she can die at any moment and she doesn't want him to experience that. So, it's just a love story, a beautiful love story. Just read it. I don't want to spoil it too much if you haven't read it. So that's the end of the non-spoiler talk. Now starting with the full-on spoilers of this emotional book. This book made me cry. I never thought a book could make me cry. The only other book that's made me cry is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. But anyways, The Fault in Our Stars. So I said before, Hazel has lung cancer. She needs help breathing, so she has an oxygen tank with her the whole time. Like, even when she falls asleep, she has a BiPAP next to her so she can fall asleep. And her mother forces her to go to a support group because she thinks about death too much and she has depression. But she knows that depression is a side effect of cancer, either way. But she's not really depressed and wants to die. But she goes to the support group and she meets Augustus Waters, who is there to support Isaac at the moment. Isaac is a blind kid. He can see with one eye. He has one glass eye, but when Augustus went, it's because he was going to get eye surgery and get his eyes removed and be completely blind. So Augustus went, and yeah. So Isaac is in love with his girlfriend, and they always say, always, like they're always gonna be together. And bad news, they're not. So Isaac and his girlfriend break up, and it's after his surgery, so he's like really depressed. So Augustus, being a good friend, helps him through that, and I'll be talking about this a little bit later. As the book progresses, Augustus tries to get with Hazel, but she's scared to date him because of her cancer. She's not 100% cured, and she feels like she can die at any moment. Like, she's a grenade. She claims to be a grenade, and she'll blow him away. But eventually they start dating, which is really nice. But she gets sick one day, and that part scared me a lot because it made it seem like she was gonna die. So she went to the hospital and he went to see her, but luckily she was okay. And they were talking about, her and Augustus were talking about An Imperial Inflection by Peter Van Houten. That's her favorite book, and that book ends off mid-sentence. So she needs to know what happens to the hamster, to the lady, and everything that she wants to know. And cancer kids have a wish to like use it on whatever. Many use it to go to Disney, which why? But anyways, Augustus never used his wish, so he uses it to go with her to Amsterdam. So they end up going. They meet Peter Van Houten. Before they went, they emailed each other, and Peter seemed like a cool guy. He was like, "Oh, if you guys come, I'll tell you the secrets. We can hang out." And he sounds really cool, but it turns out that he's not. He's just a fat drunk. He doesn't even like write anymore. He's like in the corner of the earth doing nothing except drinking. And it turns out he does that because the book was based on his daughter. That's why the book ends mid-sentence. Like, yeah. So it's kind of sad that Hazel didn't get all her answers. She knows what happens to the hamster, but she was really upset. I mean, who wouldn't if you went to see your favorite author and they turned out to be complete dicks? But they let that go. Hazel's okay. They go hang out in the museum, and I was pretty worried because she was losing her breath, and I'm like, great, something's gonna happen to her here, but it didn't. So I'm really glad about that. And also, they went on to a very romantic dinner. Oh my god. If only life was like this with everybody. So beautiful. Imagine being in Amsterdam, like flower petals falling everywhere, the river bank right there, passing through it. Like, it's really romantic, and I hope I can experience that one day. But yeah, they get, her and Augustus experience that, and yeah, it's really, really nice. And I like that part in the trailer where he's like, "I love you no matter what." Really touching. But as you keep reading, sadly, Augustus gets sick. He gets back his leg cancer. So, he tries to make himself look okay, or make it seem like he's okay, but he already knew that he was getting it back on the way to Amsterdam, and he just gets really sick. I was really sad when he went to a like, I think it was a gas station at night, and after midnight, I think, and he just started puking everywhere, and Hazel went to see him, and he was begging her not to call the hospital and medics, because then he'll just have to be there. But she did it anyways, and it was really hard. I connected with these characters a lot. It was really heartbreaking. And eventually, Hazel gets a call. I think it was at 3 a.m. in the morning, and she already knew that it was that Augustus had passed away. Like, I knew it was going that direction, but it was just so sad. I cried. Like, I just can't. And when that happens in the movie, I'm gonna cry even more. Yeah, so Hazel ends up with no boyfriend, but she finds out that he had a journal in the hospital and he was writing stuff. The pages were missing, and it turns out that he wrote a letter to Peter, and he wanted him to write a eulogy for her. So that was just, it was upsetting. And when it was his funeral, Peter showed up, but he was still kind of but he was much nicer than when they went all the way to Amsterdam to see him. And yeah, she finds out about the letter. It was for Peter. he wanted him to write a eulogy for her. He explained how much he loved her, how she was perfect in his eyes. And then I was afraid that this book was gonna end off with mid-sentence, but it just ends up with "I do, Augustus, I do." I just wish we had more to it, but it was still a good book. Some of my favorite moments now, one of my very favorite moments is when Isaac is depressed. Like I said, his girlfriend broke up with him, and Augustus was being a good friend. And he was like, "Hey, just grab a trophy and smash it. My basketball trophy. Like, I don't care." And it's funny because you think you would care about a trophy that you earned. And it turns out that Augustus never liked basketball, so he was like, "I don't give a shit. Like, go destroy them all." So that was one of my favorite scenes. Another one was when Hazel and Augustus were on the phone, texting, and that's when "okay" became their "always," and Hazel says "okay," and Augustus is like, "Oh my god, stop flirting with me." So that was really funny. What else? Like, this book is so emotional. There's like nothing really fun about it. No, that's not true. How do I say it? It's just more emotion. Oh, the egg scene when they go egg Isaac's girlfriend's car. Oh my god, that scene, that made me laugh because he's blind and he's like missing. He's going to the wrong side, and then he nails it. And then the mom comes out, and Augustus is like, "We're gonna throw eggs at your car, so you better go back in." And she does. So that's basically my favorite 3 moments. I do like Amsterdam though, where they somewhat lose their virginity, but the dinner was the most romantic and best part in my opinion. But I do like Peter, how he had to be a dick. There has to be some bad emotion to this. It all just can't be good and sad. But yeah, John Green, The Fault in Our Stars, he wrote this really good. When I started reading it, I felt like I was Hazel, or she was telling me the story. I went through it with her. The dialogue in this book is really, really good. If you haven't read it and you're still watching this, I recommend this book. The writing's really good, and the storyline and plot are amazing, and it's really paced well, I think, until the end, where it's somewhat rushed after Augustus dies. But I mean, it's fine. So my rating would be a 4.5 out of 5. So if you haven't read The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, I hope this review helps. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, I got my book signed by John Green. I was looking up to meet him at the Fault in Our Stars live stream on YouTube. This is a good story. You have to read it. The movie comes out June 6th. If you don't know about The Night Before Our Stars, that's on June 5th, where you see the movie a day before at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. I think it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern if you live in the East. And yeah, just search up the times, and if you go, you will get a free poster and charm. And there's gonna be a live stream after of all the actors, and Birdie is gonna sing. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe, like if you want more. My first movie review will be on Godzilla 2014. So thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed.